Maritime Organization of West Africa, West and Central Africa, His Excellency Dr. Paul Adelipu. You're welcome. The Chairman, the Chancellor, with your leave, I want to call this meeting to order. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before we start, can we just observe a minute of silent prayers in your various denominations and your various beliefs? Amen and amen. Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, this is, Your Excellencies, this is the 34th session of the Regional Maritime University Board of Governors meeting. For the past 3 days, the Committee of Experts have been very busy looking at the report of the acting Vice Chancellor of the University. And they have critically looked at the report and made recommendations to the board, which I, as chairman of the Committee of Experts, will be presenting to the board this afternoon for consideration. Without much ado, we are going to use this first session as the official opening, wherein we hear from the Chancellor and Chairman of the University, who is our Minister of Transport and Aviation. But before he comes take the podium, I want to tell you something about him. You need to know who the chairman is. You need to know who your chancellor is. And you need to know who your minister is. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our chairman and chancellor is the Minister of Transport and Aviation of the Republic of Sierra Leone. He also serves as the Chancellor and Board Chairman of the Regional Maritime University in Ghana. Before his current appointment, he was a permanent representative of the Republic of Sierra Leone to the United Nations, and also concurrently served as the Sierra Leone Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to Argentina, Cuba, Mexico, Uruguay, and Venezuela. He led several processes at the United Nations, including serving as Vice Chair of the United Nations Special Committee on the Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples, which we refer to as the C-24. He's also the coordinator of the African Union Committee of 10 on the reform of the United Nations Security Council in New York. You know, Sierra Leone is chair of the C-10. He was one of the brains behind our current position. He served as chair of the group of 7 countries known as G7+. The G7+ is an intergovernmental organization bringing together countries either facing conflict or experience conflict, facilitate the common goals of stability, peace, and good governance, advocate for reforms in aid management, policies, and other international engagements. He was also chair of the African group focusing principally on matters of interest to the continent at the United Nations. He also served as Vice President of the United Nations General Assembly in its 76th session. He was also Vice President and President of the UN Women Executive Board. He also served as Vice President of the Bureau of the Council of the International Seabed Authority in its 27th session. Prior to his appointment, our chairman served as Security Advisor at the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force in Syria. He has 14 years experience in peacekeeping with the UN, working in Liberia, Ethiopia, the African Union operations in Mali, and the Central African Republic and Somalia. He was chairman of the National Commission for Privatization in Sierra Leone, where he provided strategic leadership for the Commission's supervision of the privatization program and restructuring of public enterprises in Sierra Leone to attract direct private investment in the National Development Bank, the Postal Services, the Airport Authority, the Sierra Leone Telecommunications Company, the Sierra Leone Roads Transport Corporation, and the Housing Infrastructure Corporation. He is a lawyer by training, a barrister and solicitor of the High Court of Sierra Leone. He holds a Bachelor of Laws degree and graduate degrees in international transport and maritime law and international affairs. He also holds a postgraduate certificate in strategic planning for security development, quality force management, conflict and crisis, and defense management. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our chairman is a retired colonel in the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. He's no less a person, but a large, honorable ambassador. I want to give a round of applause to our chairman. So you see, he's a man of all sectors. He's a maritime guru. He's a trained military officer, disciplined one, and also internationally exposed. He served at the United Nations, representing this country and even Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can I now have the singular honor and pleasure to invite to the podium our chairman, the Chancellor of the University of the Regional Maritime University of Ghana. Put your hands together and take the podium.
Thank you very much, to the Senior Permanent Secretary, and thanks also for the elaborate introduction. Honorable colleague, ministers and members of the RMU board, the Secretary General of MOCA, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the RMU, University Registrar and Board Secretary, and members of the RMU Management, distinguished members of the Committee of Experts of the RMU Board, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Diplomatic and Consular Corps, venerable heads of government and private institutions, the staff and students, representative of the RMU, distinguished guests, representatives of various media houses, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all on behalf of the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Brigadier Retired Dr. Julius Maada Bio, who extends fraternal greetings to his colleague presidents of the RMU member states through their honorable ministers of transport and citizens here present. I hope you have all settled down well following your arrival in Freetown and you are enjoying the company of the hospitable and friendly people of Sierra Leone. Today's gathering is very historic and will surely be etched in good books of this great institution and as a reference for the African continent in general for all the positive reasons. A sixth country, the Republic of Guinea-Bissau, is joining us as a member of the Regional Maritime University after 42 years of regionalization with 5 countries. Could we please give a round of applause for I have no doubt that the forebearers of African integration and unity, notably Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, and all the advocates of African integration will be smiling down on us for this positive stride. As is contained in the famous African quote, if you want to go far, don't go alone. In a little while, we will formally usher in the Republic of Guinea-Bissau as the newest member of the university, and the Honorable Minister of Transport of Guinea-Bissau, represented by his permanent secretary, will be inducted as a board member of the RMU. I have been informed that the video conferencing facility donated by the Republic of Sierra Leone is now fully functional and is being utilized by the university. Similarly, the 50-bed hostel donated by the Republic of Liberia which was inaugurated during the 33rd Board of Governors meeting in Ghana, is also fully occupied. I wish to thank both governments once again for this significant assistance, while encouraging other member states to also assist the university with such programs. Colleague board members, ladies and gentlemen, maritime education is fundamental to Africa's growth, with over 80% of goods moved by sea. Integrating maritime system and collaborating more as Africans, as offered by the Regional Maritime University, enables us more to retrain and develop our human capital and infrastructure needed to partake in the international and intra-African trade. Colleague board members, honorable invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, one of the looming issues over the past 4 board meetings was the unresolved situation surrounding the former Vice Chancellor, who was suspended and eventually exited at the end of his contract in February this year. It was the wish of the board that the position of VC, which was yielded to Ghana for Ghanaians to fill, was advertised to enable interested and qualified Ghanaians to apply and go through the selection process. Unfortunately, Ghana presented a single candidate who was interviewed recently, and during the second part of this meeting, the board will consider the interview report for the way forward. Colleague board members, ladies and gentlemen, the Republic of Sierra Leone, in keeping with our continuing contribution to the growth and development of the university, considered and hosted the 34th BOG meeting following Cameroon and Ghana's inability to do so. I am grateful to the management of the Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, headed by the Executive Secretary, seated right there, the Director General of the Sierra Leone Ports and Harbour Authority, the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, for pulling this off within 3 months. I am particularly grateful to my permanent secretary and chairman of the Committee of Experts for his leadership, guidance throughout the preparatory stage to the successful hosting of this event. And I also want to express my gratitude to the Committee of Experts for doing an excellent job. So shall we please give a round of applause to them. In conclusion, let me once again extend appreciation to my colleague board members for your support. Let us continue to harness the spirit of unity and integration as we advance the cause of this university. As we all witness the historic event of unveiling a fellow African country to our great family, we pray that the Almighty Allah strengthen the university and all of the member states of RMU in maritime education and the advancement of the sector has to offer. I thank you all for your rapt attention.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that wonderful statement. Before I call on the next speaker, I want to recognize a few people here in our midst. I first want to recognize the chairman of the board of directors of the Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, Honorable Bintu Myers. Can you just rise so we can see you? The executive director of Maritime Administration, Dr. Dana Kaitibi. Of course, his deputy, Mr. Lansana. I will also have, in the Ministry of the Transport and Aviation, our sector, we so collaborate and we love each other, support each other, that the Director General of the Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority is here. The youngest Director General in the whole world, Mr. Arabali, is here. And also want to recognize Professor Ransman Nyampo, Director General of Ghana Shippers Authority. Yes, sir. Apollo. And also the ambassador of the Republic of Ghana to Sierra Leone. Your Excellency. Hi. You're welcome. And Sierra Leone Ports Authority. Is DG, are you here? Sierra Leone Ports and Harbours Authority, DG. Okay, it's not around. I will recognize all the dignitaries as we move along. Of course, all the SLB board members, Honorable Ayoko is here. Honorable, can you just wave to somebody to see? Honorable Tennessee, are you here? Tennessee is not around? All right. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a colleague of mine in the years when we were journalists. I was reporting for the BBC in Sierra Leone, and he was reporting for the BBC in the Gambia. He has 25 years of uninterrupted journalism experience in both electronic and print media, and 15 years of which have been spent with the international media and international development organizations. He started his career in 1993 as a reporter with the Point newspaper, and later moved to New Citizen newspaper and Citizen FM radio, where he worked as a reporter and rose through the ranks to become the editor. From 1997 to 2001, he worked as a BBC banjo stringer and was later posted to Dakar, Senegal in 2002, where he reported on multiple countries: Senegal, the Gambia, Mauritania, Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde, where he provided daily coverage and constant news updates on the region. Now he has transformed to a politician. He's proud to his appointment as Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. He served as Minister of Information and Telecommunications Infrastructure from 2018 to May 2022. And also the new Minister of Works has solid experience in managing and supervising large-scale multi-million-dollar projects covering the entire continent as well as country-specific thematic areas. He's also served as the Pan-African Radio Platform Project Coordinator for the Panos Institute West Africa, that's PIWA, and funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He is a politician who has served as member of the National Assembly of the Gambia, representing Serekunda constituency. And now he is the immediate past chancellor and board chairman under whose chairmanship some massive infrastructure improvement took place in this RMU. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now have the singular honor to respectfully invite the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable Ibrahim Masila, to deliver his address. Can you clap for my colleague, sir?
Thank you so much, Chairman. I'm happy that we can now connect on the political podium. I remember you as Kwame, and I don't know how you have transformed from journalist to civil servant, but I now remember that you are also a reverend. I know when that this podium is blessed. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, my colleague, honorable ministers, led by the Honorable Minister of Sierra Leone, who is our board chairman, and also our chancellor for the university. We also have the Secretary General of the Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa, our newest member of the board from the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. We want to take this opportunity to warmly welcome you to this very good meeting that we have organized here. And we pray that the elections that are about to happen in Guinea-Bissau in a couple of weeks' time are held peacefully and also credibly. And be rest assured that the fraternity of the RMU with the good people of Guinea-Bissau to go through this democratic process peacefully. We also want to recognize the presence of His Excellency, the Ambassador of Ghana to the Republic of Sierra Leone. We have the Acting Vice Chancellor and management of the university. We also have the expert committee, senior government officials of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and also other invited dignitaries. We want to warmly welcome all of you to this very good occasion here, which is the 34th session of the Board of Governors meeting of the Regional Maritime University. Let me say that since our arrival here, some of us Sunday, or others on Monday, and me Tuesday, we have been warmly welcomed. This beautiful country of ours is like home away from home. Gambia and Sierra Leone is like home away from home. At some point in our history during colonial time, we had one administrative governor ruling both countries. So you can imagine how close we are. And we want to thank my brother, the Honorable Minister of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and also our Chancellor for the warm welcome, and through him the government of Sierra Leone for making our stay a memorable one. I also want to thank the Vice Chancellor and the management of the university for a wonderful job that they have been doing all these years, knowing that the VC, or the acting VC, was in an acting capacity, and to imagine that they would have achieved such a remarkable progress is just one phenomenal thing that we could not just understand. And I think it is all to the resilience, commitment, as well as the management's proactive posture in the past 36 months of being Chancellor. And I want to thank you, Dr. Brooks, and your management team for steering the university to the level where we are, which we are all very proud of. Thank you so much. We want to also thank the Committee of Experts. Over the years, since I became Minister of Transport, I've been attending RMU meetings. And one thing that has always struck me and stand out, especially in the way the documentations are done, is the meticulous manner in which our Committee of Experts put together the documents and the policy issues for the board to deliberate on and take proactive decisions. So I want to thank all of you, singularly and severally, for your commitment to the cause of the RLU, and also for the expertise that you have been putting in shaping the future of this great university. Our gathering here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is not only unique, but is symbolic in that it is one of the epic moments in the operations of the university to ensure that we look at all issues, including challenges and the difficult issues that will help save the university. And this particular meeting is of no difference in that the RMU has been navigating through some difficult processes, including the vexed issue of the Vice Chancellor of the university, which my chairman has ably described in his speech, and hopefully as ministers and board members, we will deliberate on this issue and then take a definitive decision. We also want to assure the fraternity that the government of the Gambia, through my ministry, stands committed to promoting and supporting the fundamental ideals that actually gave birth to this very concept of the Regional Maritime University. We want to thank our presidents, especially at the time those that were in power, for the vision and the wonderful ideas that they put together that actually transformed the Ghana Nautical Mines University institution into the Regional Maritime University. And that came in through collaboration, through sacrifice, or through commitment to regional integration. And we that are lucky to have found this institution already fully established now owe it to the founding fathers to do what is right so that this university can continue to be a beacon of hope for maritime learning and all other things that are taught in that university. Therefore, it is my strongest position that every measure and every steps should be taken to safeguard that regional interest that was put at the heart of establishing this university, in ensuring that all countries that are members of this university are given the equal rights and opportunity to have a say in shaping the right direction of this university. And that is why countries like Guinea-Bissau and others are interested to join us. We don't only welcome Guinea-Bissau to the fraternity, but we assure them that that forced equality is still part of what we believe in, and it will be accorded to them even though they are the newest member. You may be the newest member, but you are part of the force of the equals. I want to assure you of that. And as a result, this drive to attract more countries to join the Union could not have come at a better time. When in our continent, in Africa, the drive, the urge now is to break barriers, is to come together and do what is symbolic for Africa, for Africans to feel home and to feel that they are part of the greater good of this continent. So on that note, I want to thank my host, Honorable Minister, and assure you that the Gambia will continue to stand tall and shoulder to shoulder with you as chairman of the board to ensure that our university move to higher heights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sila. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I recognize some more dignitaries. I have the honor now to recognize Mr. BST Kevi, my colleague, and also a board member of the SLMA, his permanent secretary, Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, BST Brahma Kevi, please stand up. Brahma happens to be my classmate from formative years and also at Christ King College, the Royal College of the South. And I also want to recognize Honorable PC by Chevron Leone. Are you around? The Lion's not here. And also there is a gentleman amongst us who is his, an unsung hero. He walks throughout the night just to make sure things happen. And he has a very nice and lovely voice. And he's no less a person but Dr. Bubakar Njai, the university registrar. Can you please stand up? And of course, my acting vice chancellor, the proactive man. Can you please come and ask together for our attendance? And I will now call on, and before I call on our next speaker, I'll just tell you something about him. Our next speaker has played a critical role in overseeing maritime policies and regulations in the Republic of Liberia, focusing on enhancing maritime safety, security, and environmental protection. He has a background in maritime affairs. He's the Honorable CEO. He's been instrumental in promoting Liberia shipping registry and international maritime standards. His leadership emphasizes on collaboration with global maritime organizations and stakeholders to ensure that Liberia remains a respected player in the maritime industry. His leadership is characterized by a commitment to improving the infrastructure and governance of Liberia's maritime sector, supporting the country's position as a leading flag state. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the CEO and Commissioner of Liberia's Maritime Authority, Honorable Nito Zaza Lai Sr. to take his speech.
Thank you very much. Interestingly, I'm also a lawyer.
That's good.
Yes. Honorable Chancellor and Board Chairman, Honorable Ministers and members of the Regional Maritime University Board, Secretary General of MOCA, Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished national experts, our acting Vice Chancellor, staff and students representative of the Regional Maritime University, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Before I proceed, allow me to say how truly delighted my delegation and I are to be here, home and away from home for us. The warm hospitality and camaraderie extended to us since our arrival in Sierra Leone remind us of the deep historical, cultural, and fraternal bonds that tied our two nations together under the banner of the Mana River Union and the Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa. On behalf of the government and people of the Republic of Liberia, and particularly on behalf of our Chief Executive, His Excellency Joseph Yuman Boyka, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia, I extend fraternal greetings to his brother and friend, His Excellency Julius Madabio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and to the good people of this beautiful country. His Excellency President Boyka commends the government of Sierra Leone for its continual hospitality, steadfast leadership, and invaluable support to the Regional Maritime University, our common heritage and pride. Mr. Chairman and members of the Board of Directors, as we meet here today for the 34th section of the Regional Maritime University Board of Governors meeting, we are reminded of the noble vision that inspired the establishment of the university to train, nurture, and empower Africans for leadership and technical excellence in the global maritime industry. The Regional Maritime University continues to stand as a beacon of specialized higher education, fostering the transformation of our region's human capacity and unlocking opportunities in the blue economy. However, as reflected in the board's papers, there remain key challenges facing our university, ranging from the need for improved financial stability and sustainability and infrastructure development to the continuous upgrading of teaching and research facility to meet international standards. These challenges are not unique to the Regional Maritime University. They are shared by many higher education institutions across the continent. Yet, what RMU apart is its strategic regional character and its potential to directly influence maritime governance, logistics, trade facilitation, and environmental sustainability across West and Central Africa. It is commendable that member states continue to support the university through the payment of annual financial contributions, the enrollment of their nationals, and the provision of logistics and infrastructure aid. I wish to acknowledge with gratitude the continued dedication of all member states and development partners, including the International Maritime Organization, for their technical and policy support. I'm pleased also to note that the Republic of Liberia continues to play its part in this collective responsibility. Last year, Liberia fulfilled its obligation through the construction and dedication of modern dormitory building, improving students' accommodation and learning conditions. This coupled with our timely payment of annual financial contributions underscores Liberia's unwavering commitment toward the growth and sustainability of our beloved institution. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, permit me to highlight another area of progress that we consider transformative: the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the National Port Authority of Liberia and the Regional Maritime University. This MOU focuses on the training of port professionals in specialized areas such as port management, cargo handling, environmental compliance, and digital transformation in port operations. We believe this collaboration sets a precedent for a productive industry academia partnership model, ensuring that our maritime professionals are equipped with global competitive skills. We also look forward to similar collaborations between RMU and other national maritime administrations, ship registries, and private maritime institutions. Such partnerships will not only bridge the skills gap in the sector, but will also enhance employability and innovation among graduates. Mr. Chairman, distinguished board members, in the face of global technological changes and environmental imperatives, higher education institutions like the regional maritime universities must evolve to remain relevant. The university continues to prioritize, for example, curriculum modernization, which means aligning training programs with international standards set by the IMO, the ILO, and the STCW conventions. We must also digitize and adapt to smart learning, meaning leveraging technology for online and blended learning platforms, thus expanding the regional maritime university reach across Africa and the diaspora. Research and innovation, strengthening applied research in areas such as maritime pollution control, ocean governance, climate adaptation, and maritime security. Gender and youth empowerment, promote gender equality, and also encourage more young women to pursue careers in maritime professions traditionally dominated by men. Finally, institutional sustainability by exploring innovative financing models, including public-private partnerships, alumni engagements, and other donor-supported research grants to ensure long-term viability. Mr. Chairman, if we collectively commit to these priorities, the Regional Maritime University will not only continue to serve as a center of excellence for maritime training, but also become a model for regional collaboration in higher education and professional development. I would like to commend the leadership at this point, honor the acting Vice Chancellor and the hard-working staff for their dedication under challenging circumstances. Their continued effort to uphold quality assurance and academic integrity have kept the university's reputation intact. It is also heartening to note the ongoing infrastructural improvements, including upgrades in simulation laboratories, the ship in-campus project, the ICT facilities. These are essential to producing world-class seafarers and maritime administrators who can compete globally. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, as we draw closer to the end of 2025, let us reflect on our shared responsibility to secure the future of this great institution. Let us continue to build partnerships that strengthen the regional maritime university's position as a regional and a continental leader in maritime education, training, and research. The Republic of Liberia remains fully committed to supporting the collective aspirations of member states in developing the human capacity that will steer Africa's maritime sector towards safety, efficiency, and sustainability. Finally, I am pleased to inform you all that Liberia is vying to retain her membership on Category A of the IMO Council in the upcoming elections slated to take place in late November or early December of this year. As a premier flag state, renowned for safety, quality, and excellence, Liberia's candidature is aimed at maintaining a viable African voice in the highest decision-making body of the IMO. Liberia stands ready to be a champion of a Vigo for raising the voices of African states at the IMO Council. I therefore herewith seek the support of all of you in ensuring that Liberia maintains a seat on the IMO Council Category A. We stand ready to be the voice of Africa and home field to that historic mission. May the coming years of 2026 usher in renewed vigor, fruitful collaboration,